Okay, what we have for you today is one day's rubbish that we've created here, and it weighs 1.9 kilograms, and we may find that many people would put that into their kitchen bin. But we're going to show you how you can reduce the amount of stuff that you send to landfill and increase the amount of things that you recycle. So one day's rubbish, as you can see, we've got a full carrier bag and a box. Inside the box, if I take the lid off, we have got all of our kitchen scraps. This is all raw food waste, vegetable peelings, fruit peelings, eggshells, and you can also put used kitchen towel into the compost bin. So if you're having a meal where you're producing oil or grease, instead of pouring it down the drain, just mop it up with kitchen towel and that can safely go into the compost bin. What we have in our carrier bag is paper waste, a newspaper, a Tetra Pak. People get milk or fruit juice, or some tomatoes now come in Tetra Paks. We've got one of my famous yoghurt pots that I have not yet been able to give up. We have a wine bottle, it was Sunday after all. We've got a milk bottle. Inside of a toilet roll. A glass honey jar with its lid. We've got a can, cork which has come out of the bottle, one foil container from a pie. We ended up buying potatoes in a bag this week because we couldn't get any fresh loose ones, so we've got a plastic bag there. We've also got an oil bottle, and in the bottom here we've just got some sorted pieces of paper and the seal from the top of the honey pot. So if we were to put this into our bin, it would take up about, say half an average kitchen dustbin, and as I said at the beginning of this, it weighs 1.9 kilograms. So we're going to see what we can do to get this right down and to keep as much as we can in landfill. So glass bottles, many areas now, not all areas, but many areas in the UK now will collect glass bottles from the curbside. So that can be rinsed out to make sure you don't get fruit flies in it and kept until your curbside collection, or it can be taken to your nearest recycling bank. With the plastic bottles, plastics are quite difficult to recycle in some areas. Now this is confusing for us because if you turn it over, it's actually got a code number 1 on it, which is the same as a plastic milk bottle, but a call to our council this morning revealed to me that we cannot put these in with our milk bottles. So this one is destined for the landfill. So what I'm going to do is anything destined for the landfill, I'm going to put into our bin. Tetra Paks. The facilities for recycling Tetra Paks is increasing all the time. They are not collected from curbside in Gloucestershire, but we do have recycling banks nearby. And on the Recycle Tetra Paks website, you can find out where your nearest recycling bank is for Tetra Paks. With cans, they are one of the easiest things to recycle. Again, most areas in the country will collect them from curbside. So what you do, you rinse it out. You don't have to remove the label. That gets put in there as well. And if you have a way in which to crush it, that's good because it takes up less space. If you don't worry about it, just put it in like that. What we do is we put the top inside like that, just to keep it safe, and it also stops any animals being able to get their head down and cut their faces. With glass, you treat it in exactly the same way as a glass bottle, so that goes in with the glass recycling. The cap needs to be taken off. Even though it's metal, it has a plastic and paper combination inner, so that does end up in our landfill. Plastic bottles can be recycled. Some areas collect them from the curbside. We can take ours to a local recycling bank. If you check on your county council's recycling part of their website, you'll find out where your nearest recycling bank is. The caps, they do need to be taken off. They can't go in with the recycled bottles, so the bottle gets recycled, the cap ends up in the landfill. The bag that the potatoes came in, this is made from polythene. The way to test for polythene is to stretch it. And if it stretches like that, without breaking or tearing, you've got polythene. And there is a company over in Norwich in the UK where you can post back your polythene and they will recycle it. Some supermarkets where they collect your carrier bags, they will also take polythene for recycling, so do check to see if you can get rid of that locally. Regarding foil, there is an area at most civic community sites for recycling foil, so that can just be rinsed out. Of course, what's great about it is you can crash it up and it takes up no room at all, and you just keep that until you're next passing by the recycling centre. The inner of a toilet roll or a kitchen roll is made from cardboard, so that can go in with cardboard recycling. Some people are lucky enough to have that collected from the curbside. We have to visit our local recycling centre for that, but all we do is we keep everything stored up. We make it as small as possible so that it doesn't take up too much room, and when we're next passing the centre we take things with us to get rid of. Newspaper. Nearly everybody has a newspaper, or at least one newspaper every day. Most places will now collect that from the curbside, so again they don't take up much room. You just put them to one side and you put them out on the day that your papers are collected. We have a few odd things here. There's a seal, a really annoying seal that came from the top of the honey pot. Nothing you can do with that. If you rip it, if you try to pull it apart like the polythene, well, you can hear it's not going to do anything. It's not going to stretch, it's not going to break. It just needs to go into our bin. And there's a piece of plastic here as well that was given to us when we bought some meat at the butcher's. Unfortunately, there's nothing we can do with that either. It was Mr. Green's birthday over the weekend, and he was given a box of After 8 mints. Each one of those comes in an individual sleeve, but they are made from paper, so they can just be crumpled up together. Because if you put things that are too small into the paper recycling, it can jam up the machine. So you can either fold it up like that and put it in with the paper, or small bits like this could go into a compost bin if you've got a home composting system. We have a cork. Now, I thought that because it's a natural product from trees, it could go into the green waste recycling, but a call to my council this morning informed me that that is not the case, and I can only put in grass or weeds. So unfortunately, our cork really is destined for the landfill, although I guess you could perhaps break it up and put it into a home composting bin. I'm really not sure, to be honest, so for safety I'm going to put it into the landfill. And with my yoghurt pot, these things that I'm finding very hard to give up, they're not recyclable. The lid isn't recyclable, so what we can do, take off the cardboard outer, which can be recycled, and then all of this is going to have to be washed up and kept and put in, unfortunately, to the landfill. So what I'm going to do now is show you that from 1.9 kilograms of rubbish destined for the landfill, we have this. And over there, because I haven't prepared it on my scales, I'm going to get them and I'm going to put everything onto the scales, and we'll see how much we've reduced things by. We've reduced from 1.9 kilograms that were destined for the landfill. Let's have a look and see what we've got now. Put all our bits in there. What have we got? We've got 105 grams. Okay, so I hope this has inspired you to just take a look at your rubbish with a different viewpoint, to look at what you can recycle, what can be composted, and to get your landfill waste down to as minimum as possible.